Daniel and the Devil. By Eugene Field. Daniel was a very wretched man. As he sat with his head bowed upon his desk that evening, he made up his mind that his life had been a failure. "I have labored long and diligently," said he to himself, "and although I am known throughout the city as an industrious and shrewd businessman, I am still a poor man, and shall probably continue so to the end of my days. Unless. Here Daniel stopped and shivered. For a week or more he had been brooding over his unhappy lot. There seemed to be but one way out of his trouble, yet his soul revolted from taking that step. That was why he stopped and shivered. "But," he argued, "I must do something. My 9 children are growing up into big boys and girls. They must have those advantages which my limited means will not admit of. All my life so far has been pure, circumspect, and rigid. Poverty has at last broken my spirit. I give up the fight // I am ready to sell my soul to the devil." "The determination is a wise one," said a voice at Daniel's elbow. Daniel looked up and beheld a grim-visaged stranger in the chair beside him. The stranger was arrayed all in black, and he exhaled a distinct odor of sulfur. "Am I to understand," asked the stranger, "that you are prepared to enter into a league with the devil?" "Yes," said Daniel, firmly. And he set his teeth together after the fashion of a man who is not to be moved from his purpose. "Then I am ready to treat with you," said the stranger. "Are you the devil?" asked Daniel, eyeing the stranger critically. "No. But I am authorized to enter into contracts for him," explained the stranger. "My name is Beelzebub, and I am my master's most trusted agent." "Sir," said Daniel, "you must pardon me, for I am loath to wound your feelings. But one of the rules governing my career as a businessman has been to deal directly with principals, and never to trust to the offices of middlemen. The affair now in hand is one concerning the devil and myself, and between us two and by us two only can the preliminaries be adjusted. As it so happens," explained Beelzebub, "this is Friday, commonly called Hangman's Day, and that is as busy a time in our particular locality as a Monday is in a laundry, or as the first of every month is at a bookkeeper's desk. You can understand, perhaps, that this is the devil's busy day. Therefore be content to make this deal with me, and you will find that my master will cheerfully accept any contract I may enter into as his agent and in his behalf." But no, Daniel would not agree to this, with the devil himself, and only the devil himself, would he treat. So he bade Beelzebub go to the devil and make known his wishes. Beelzebub departed, much chagrined. Presently back came the devil, and surely it was the devil this time. There could be no mistake about it, for he wore a scarlet cloak, and had cloven feet, and carried about with him as many suffocating smells as there are kinds of brimstone, sulfur, and Asaphoetida. The two talked over all Daniel's miseries. The devil sympathized with Daniel, and ever and anon a malodorous, gummy tear would trickle down the devil's sinister nose and drop off on the carpet. "What you want is money," said the devil. "That will give you the comfort and the contentment you crave." "Yes," said Daniel, "it will give me every opportunity to do good." "To do good," repeated the devil. "To do good. Indeed. Yes, it's many a good time we shall have together, friend Daniel." "Ha, ha, ha." And the devil laughed uproariously. Nothing seemed more humorous than the prospect of doing good with the devil's money. But Daniel failed to see what the devil was so jolly about. Daniel was not a humorist, he was, as we have indicated, a plain businessman. It was finally agreed that Daniel should sell his soul to the devil upon condition that for the space of 24 years the devil should serve Daniel faithfully, should provide him with riches, and should do whatsoever he was commanded to do. Then, at the end of the 24th year, Daniel's soul was to pass into the possession of the devil, and was to remain there forever, without recourse or benefit of clergy. Surely a more horrible contract was never entered into. "You will have to sign your name to this contract," said the devil, producing a sheet of asbestos paper upon which all the terms of the diabolical treaty were set forth exactly. "Certainly," replied Daniel. "I have been a business man long enough to know the propriety and necessity of written contracts. And as for you, you must of course give a bond for the faithful execution of your part of this business." "That is something I have never done before," suggested the devil. "I shall insist upon it," said Daniel, firmly. "This is no affair of sentiment, it is strictly and coldly business. You are to do certain service, and are to receive certain rewards therefore." "Yes, your soul," cried the devil, gleefully rubbing his callous hands together. "Your soul in 24 years. "Yes," said Daniel. "Now, no contract is good unless there is a quid pro quo." "That's so," said the devil, "so let's get a lawyer to draw up the paper for me to sign." "Why a lawyer?" queried Daniel. "A contract is a simple instrument. I, as a businessman, can frame one sufficiently binding." "But I prefer to have a lawyer do it," urged the devil. "And I prefer to do it myself," said Daniel. "When a businessman once gets his mind set, not even an Archimedean lever could stir it." So Daniel drew up the bond for the devil to sign, and this bond specified that in case the devil failed at any time during the next 24 years to do whatso Daniel commanded him, then should the bond which the devil held against Daniel become null and void, and upon that same day should 1,001 souls be released forever from the devil's dominion. The devil winced. He hated to sign this agreement, but he had to. An awful clap of thunder ratified the abominable treaty, and every black cat within a radius of 100 League straightway fell to frothing and to yowling grotesquely. Presently Daniel began to prosper. The devil was a faithful slave, and he served Daniel so artfully that no person on earth suspected that Daniel had leagued with the evil one. Daniel had the finest house in the city, his wife dressed magnificently, and his children enjoyed every luxury wealth could provide. Still, Daniel was content to be known as a businessman. He deported himself modestly and kindly. He pursued with all his old-time diligence the trade which in earlier days he had found so unproductive of riches. His indifference to the pleasures which money put within his reach was passing strange, and it caused the devil vast uneasiness. "Daniel," said the devil, one day, "you're not getting out of this thing all the fun there is in it. You go poking along in the same old rut with never a suspicion that you have it in your power to enjoy every pleasure of human life. Why don't you break away from the old restraints? Why don't you avail yourself of the advantages at your command?" "I know what you are driving at," said Daniel, shrewdly, "politics." "No. Not at all," remonstrated the devil. "What I mean is fun, gaiety. Why not have a good time, Daniel?" "But I am having a good time," said Daniel. "My business is going along all right, I am rich. I've got a lovely home, my wife is happy, my children are healthy and contented, I am respected. What more could I ask? What better time could I demand?" "You don't understand me," explained the devil. "What I mean by a good time is that which makes the heart merry and keeps the soul youthful and buoyant. Wine, Daniel. Wine and the theater and pretty girls and fast horses and all that sort of happy, joyful life." "Tut, tut, tut," cried Daniel, "no more of that, sir. I sowed my wild oats in college. What right have I to think of such silly follies, at 40 years of age,
Thanks for being a part of Chronicles Corner. I hope you enjoyed the story. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for future updates. Goodbye.